exactly.
In fact, when
they broke 8 kind of rules just going out and fighting these foxes.
Right, and the foxes leave, and this is very Adventure Time. The foxes all howl the same warning to the girls. Mm-hmm. Beware of the kitten Holly.
Yeah, it was a good hook, like a fun, playful hook, like, okay, this is like a clue, and even one of the characters writes it down, like, oh, this might be important later.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, they're doing hooks, and it's in a funny, childish type style. And you're right, it totally had an Adventure Time feel to it.
This is an all ages book, if we didn't mention that before.
Yeah.
And it might be all ages, but it might be like, well, I'm going to say it's 46 and under.
Yeah, there you go.
I enjoyed reading this first issue. I don't know if I'll stay on with the other issues. And we'll get to my particulars with that.
Wait, let's go into it right now.
I like cartoons, but this is very, like, this is a girls' cartoon. For girls. Is that wrong of me to say? Like, I really do.
Because I actually thought they did a pretty good job of not making it girly.
Oh, really?
All of the characters you named, none of them were like there was no like prissy character.
Okay.
There was no like the cutesy, none of them, there's no one wearing pink.
Right. Yeah, exactly right. There isn't the...
But it didn't feel forced that it wasn't. They were all girls, but, I don't know, to each his own, I suppose, right?
Right. Now that I'm looking at it, like, the little girl who, like, likes climbing trees and punching things is cute.
Yeah. Yeah, came out of nowhere and was the wild card.
Yeah, she's the wild card. She's the headband girl, by the way. So they get back to their cabin, and they have, like James said, broke 8 of the Lumberjanes' rules, and one of those rules is not to be out past curfew.
Yes. And so they have some kind of like RA den mother type person who gets mad at them and wants to turn him into the principal type character, headmaster.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a funny exchange, and like I'd go over the lines that I think are especially funny, but almost all of them it's pretty like character based, like, oh, it's a funny exclamation. I don't know if I could pull it off. But also because you guys hopefully have it in front of you, and if not, my tease will excite your fingers to go get a copy yourself.
So when they do get caught, they're all, the den mother, cabin mother is her name is Jen, and they are all smiles. Hi, Jen, and they know they're in trouble, and each one has their own excuse as to what they've been up to. And I want to know more. I guess, geez, I'm captivated by this comic now. I want to know more about this bear woman.
Yeah, okay. So I thought this was a cool way of telling the story too, is their excuse is that they were out trying to find a bear woman. And when we start the story, we start at the foxes, which come after the bear woman. So we don't know anything about that. So that to me became a hook of like, okay, this is a bigger thing. And then even how the headmaster lady was like, seemed to react like this was important news, and like it got them off from being in trouble.
Right, but it doesn't.
This
woman would be the worst den mother. I mean, they like her, but they have issues with her because of, she immediately takes them to the headmaster and wakes her up, and I'm having problems loading pages. Oh, there we go. And the den mother's cool, or like the headmaster woman is very cool. She looks very Oregon.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. She's like wielding an axe, like doing her own wood carving kind of thing when you walk in on her, and she's got a super positive attitude. She kind of reminded me of who's the guy in MASH, the like leader guy. the boss who he talks to Radar, and Radar does all the work, and he doesn't.
Harry Potter?
In MASH. You know the TV show MASH?
Oh, yeah, Harry Potter. That's the guy's name.
You threw me for a loop for a second. I'm like, Larry, did you hear anything I said?
Is it Harry?
Yeah.
No, it's Sherman Potter.
There we go.
Sherman Potter, yeah.
That sounds much better. She's kind of that kind of character.
Yeah, and so she puts Jen out to go
she's
get
like,
some
yeah,
cocoa.
go get some coffee, you know, you kids, you're in trouble, but just a slap on the wrist kind of thing.
And tell me more about this bear woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Oregon Den Mother, she knows, she has knowledge of stuff, and and I think that when she meets these 5 girls, she sees like now I have my team together. I have a team that can do that. I always like, like when I'm at work, I always like I use this thing. I use this term called building skills. Like, I know how to do this. I know how to find the bear woman. Let's see if you girls can figure it out. That's what I get from here. So they're
and so it's like the start of a mystery, which is a great hook for a first issue.
Oh, and she even drew a little picture of the bear woman. So it's a bear woman, like, turning into a bear or something is what the picture looks like. It's a neat book. It's a cute book. I wish I was...
Neat is a good way to put it.
I wish I was younger. I wish I would have discovered this when I was 12. This is a perfect book if you have young people, and I think there's multiple volumes of this to be had. So
yeah, it seemed like there were quite a few. We'll see how maybe it'll be your kid's favorite if it's not yours.
Yeah,
good for boys and girls.
All right, you're right, James. All right, so we're at page 29. My page is not opening, so I'm looking at the little thumbnails. Sometimes my computer does this. James, you're going to have to help me out because I'm looking at page 29 and it won't open up. It takes a couple seconds. What are you
talking about?
Oh, I'm looking at, I can see the thumbnail pictures, but not the full page. My computer is being slow.
Okay, no problem. So I guess I did. What did you want me to talk about? Sorry.
So right after they don't get in trouble, you're not going to call our parents.
Yeah. Oh, you mean then they walk outside?
Yeah. What do they see outside? Like my page just froze up.
Oh, I thought that was the last page.
No, I think 30 page 30 is the last page. I don't know. What is going on with
Am I just looking at it weird?
Well, oh yeah, you're right. That's the last page.
Okay. Good. I'm like, it's like the sky and like the trees.
Yeah.
It says to be continued on it.
Yes. That is the last page. Page 30.
Okay.
Mine isn't opening up, but,
I thought there was like something mysterious they were looking at that was like hidden between the lines or something. Man, you had me like, what are you talking about, Larry?
Well, now that we've talked about it, now that I've deduced a little bit, I think that there are lots of comics to read, and I did. I am happy that I have read it because this, like I said last week, this was a very popular and is a very popular comic. If you haven't read it and you're on Comixology, you shouldn't have any excuses to try it out.
I agree.
All right, James, where did you put the... Oh, do you want to talk a little bit about the art? Because the art...
Yeah. I mean, I guess all I really said was that I thought it reminded me of Adventure Time. Like, it's definitely got, like, a similar color scheme style, but at night. Characters are kind of, Larry, you gotta help me with some of the art stuff here.
Well, they're I'm looking at the gal with, the punk rock gal. She's got a little shaved hair and she's got buttons on her jacket. She gets the finger pointed at her and she immediately freezes. Her eyes go into 2 tiny little dots and her teeth become Charlie Brown teeth. And
there you go.
And that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a very cartoony very cartoony art style.
Yeah.
And it works. It works really well for this comic. And yeah, there's some good pages actually. Now that I'm looking at this one particular page with all five of the girls standing there with their arms crossed, and I think that's a pretty funny page. They're all getting.
I mean, there weren't like any great splash pages where you're like staring at the art for a long time, but it matches like a fun pace, easy to read type thing.
Yes, and that's probably why this would be really, really like something you would want to share with children. This is a great kids book.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. James, did you
where did I rank it?
Where did you rank this?
I ranked this right below the 13th artifact and right above 27. So I thought it was pretty good.
Awesome. I think we found we found somebody's new favorite comic, I hope.
I could see if you're not an Axe Cop fan, then you would like this.
There you go. All ages.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to have to read.
We've done quite a few all ages. Have we? Is this like our third or fourth?
I think it's our second. Well, we did Axe Cop.
Did Paper Girls not count?
Paper Girl. I wouldn't call Paper Girls when she drops the F-bomb, that takes it out of all ages.
Oh, I forgot about. Oh man, Larry, you got a good memory for that kind of stuff. You're right.
I like that comic a lot. I'm gonna revisit this, James, because I really do think you're selling me on this hook and
sweet.
Yeah, so maybe you found
what about
my new favorite comic.
What about the Sabrina? Is that not all ages?
Sabrina's definitely not all ages.
Yeah.
That's probably like a PG-13.
Okay. I guess you're right. Well, yeah. I just feel like that Archie style is so kiddie, but
it can be.
The themes, I guess you're right.
It can be, but no.
Larry.
We'll keep. Well, now that we know that we have to fill the docket for all ages, and I like these all ages books, just like DuckTales last week, because it really does take it. You read a lot of heavy stuff, like that Sabrina stuff was kind of heavy, and a lot of the books that I read, actually I was going to mention that I was on Comixology earlier tonight, and I don't
believe it, Larry.
And I saw that the first 10 volumes, listen to this, James.
That sounds like a lot of whatever it is.
The first 10 volumes of The Walking Dead are available on Comixology.
Wow.
So
that's pretty substantial.
That is a huge, huge amount. That's 60 comics. That's 60 free issues of The Walking Dead available on Comixology. So
that's a good week worth of comic reading.
Yeah. So like if you're a binge watcher of television, you should be a binge watcher of comic or binge reader of comics, and that's a great one to those 60 issues would fly by.
Yeah, and especially if you read or watched the TV show, or if you love black and white art, or if you're a zombie fan, there's a lot of reasons to read.
Yeah, that's a great comic. All right, how about next week?
All right, let's hear it, Larry.
All right, so you know that Comixology and Marvel Unlimited have teamed up to give us multiple choices in our comic reading.
Of course.
And one of those is Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. This came out in October of 1993. I wasn't even born then.
I don't think I've ever read Daredevil before.
That's a lie. No, the part about me not being born by 93.
Oh. I'm like, how do you know that I haven't read
it? So, written by Frank Miller with art by John Romita Jr., and it's published by Marvel. This just came up on Comixology Marvel, Comixology/Marvel Unlimited. So check it out. Join us here next week when we read together, all of us, all our fans.
I'll be there. You and me, Larry.
Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. Now the first issue this is a volume, so there's 5 issues. James and I are only going to read one. Well,
Yes,
we're going to read
remember,
all
Larry.
five.
Remember, Larry, we're only reading one.